Family, welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you guys back here to the channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make the design on this bag. This is not the first time I'm making this type of bag, so I just want to focus on the design of the bag. So as you all know, I like using a cardboard paper for my stabilizer, and the measurement I am using, this is the first body. It is a 9 inches by 6 inches, while this one is the second body, the flap and the top. The flap and the top are the same measurement, 9 inches by 6 inches, while the top, of course, is 2 inches. I like using 2 inches for my top because it gives it a shape that I want. So for the first body, all you need to do is to put your foam and then put your nylon and put your lining, and that's everything for the first body. Now, the where the main work is on the second body, which is the one that carries the top and the flap. So what you're going to go ahead and do now is to fold in your lines so that when you are done with all your sewing and arrangements and you want to fix in your side, it will not be too difficult to know where one segment stops and where the other segment starts. English language. Anyway, so I just went ahead and I was just folding it, making sure it is not bent. You don't want it to be bent. You don't want it to be bent. So after I was done with the folding, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to open it again. See the way I was opening it. It's very funny. But it's very, very essential, honestly. Folding like this is very, very essential. If not, the bag will be bent and maybe one side will be bigger than the other side, or you go and put the handle where it's not supposed to be. So now what you are going to go ahead and do now is to start your measurement. You measure half inches from both ends to make a square. Now that half inches is the stitching allowance. Now you go ahead and rub your gum, and for the design I am using a Mako. This is because Mako is foamy, is bulky, and it will give a nice feel as a supplement on a carry board. Unlike carry board, it is flat, it is thick, and it is strong. So we need something soft. Foam will not work because foam is too foamy. Foam is too foamy. So I'm using a Mako, and the measurement is half inches. Honestly, I loved the bag how it came out with my half inches Mako as a design. But if you want a smaller design, you could go for quarter of an inch. Yes, it will make it slimmer. So you see the way I put the first one now, I just rub my gum on the line. So I'm putting it after the half inches line. So I will just go ahead and rub gum on the Mako again. This is because you want the two surface to stick to each other. I just hope you understand what I'm saying. This is because you want the two surfaces to stick to each other. So you have to put gum on both surfaces. Then you now just put it like this. Then you cut off any excesses. So that is what you are going to go ahead and do for the whole square. So the design we are following has three steps. So after this first square, you are going to go ahead and measure quarter of an inch. You measure quarter of an inch, then you rule your line with your pencil, then you put your half inches Mako as well. So just keep watching, and it's not that hard, it's not that difficult. Just keep watching. I know you will get it because you guys are smart. guys, after we are done with all our layers, this is what it looks like. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is to put gum in the middle, and you're going to put your foam. The reason why we're putting foam is because the middle has a quilted design, so you need a foam for it to, for you to be able to draw your lines and put that quilt design. So please take your time and rub gum on all the edges, and then you go ahead and put your foam. So I am going to be putting foam at the edges of the place that I left for the stitching allowance. This is because I want it to have a soft feel, one, and secondly, I want it to look fluffy and nice when I want to sew it. So that is the reason why I am putting a foam at the edges. You can skip that if you want, but I would advise you put it so that it will not be showing, it should not be too stiff. So after you're done with putting all the foam, the next thing you're going to go ahead and do, of course, is to wrap the overall body. So you're going to put, since we're using leather, you're going to put gum on the two surfaces. Both the carry board and then the leather. So you're going to put gum, then you go ahead and wrap it. So this is what it looks like when you wrap it. This is what it looks like. So that edges is where you're going to sew. Now what you're going to go ahead and do now is to start sewing the three compartments. Leave that outside edge because that is where you are going to be sewing your overall stitch. Leave that outside edge. Now, we have to make our coat in the middle, right? Yes, you can use 1 inches, you can use 1.5 inches, and you can use 2 inches. But I decided to use 1.5 inches. Yes, my ruler is 2 inches. I measured I drawed 1 inches like this, but when I was done drawing it, I saw that it was too small. So I decided to just change it to 1 inches when I was on my sewing machine. So you can do 1 inches slant like this, then you do 2 inches this way, 2 inches straight like this. So when you're done, you just go ahead to your sewing machine and go and stitch. So you start stitching from the second box. You see the second box. I omitted the first box because it's going to be my stitching allowance for the coupling of the body. Then you stitch it. Then this is the body's first body already. I've stitched that one. So this is what it's going to look like when you are done. You see that the bag is simple and beautiful. All you need to do is you just do 1 or 2 calculations. And you're good to go. So you see everything is ready. So next thing you're going to go ahead and do is to put the handle of your bag, and then you just go ahead and put your square ring and the handle of the bag. Then you go ahead and cover with your lining. So off camera, I've went ahead and worked on my side corset. I am using a three side corset. If you are a fan of this channel, you know that that is what I like to use. So I'm going to put the link in the description box of how to go about the corset, so that you know how to go about the corset. So I went ahead and stitch it to the first body. So what you're going to go ahead and do now is to stitch it to the second body. You put your fastener and then you give it a overall stitch, and that is like basically everything about this tutorial. You see the final look. The bag looks gorgeous. So I made something similar like this on the channel. I'm going to put the link in the description box so that you see how to go about that other one too. It's lovely and it's as big as this. So having said that, that's basically everything about this tutorial. I hope you learned 1 or 2. I hope you give me a thumbs up. I hope you say something nice in the comment section, and most importantly, I hope you've subscribed and you've also clicked on the notification bell so you get notified when I post a new tutorial. See you guys in my next tutorial.